Hey, it's Ben Hassinger, your artistic director for this year's Uketoberfest at Interlaken. I'm so happy to be here with Bob-Tigert, Lisa Webb, and they're going to be our two of our featured teaching artists this year at Uketoberfest, which is the first time I've ever had the pleasure of working with you two.
This is going to be fun for us, man. We're really looking forward to it.
We're really jazzed.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it too. I've heard so many good things about you. A little bit about your background, Bob. It's my impression you'd been a touring musician for quite a while.
Well, I toured back in the aught '70s and ended up doing a whole lot of work. In fact, moved to Toronto and worked with a couple of Canadian bands and ended up touring with Gordon Lightfoot towards the end, and then realized that the music industry was a ridiculous way to make a living, and came back to my home. I am a Nashville native, and I came back to Nashville and started a video production company, and it was
Yeah.
gratefully it was really, really successful. Ended up in 62 countries doing documentaries, and started playing bluegrass towards the end of that. After it, I began to slow it down and retired, and suddenly I'm back playing music again, and it's wonderful. It's being on the road a different kind of way, but it's really fun, and it's been very, very productive. Going through a series of bands and ending up in this duo that's been just received so well.
It's been a real
Well, that's
switch.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, you come from kind of a different musical background.
I do. I grew up in St. Louis, and I still consider myself primarily a piano player because that's what I've played my whole life. I
Uh-huh.
the ukulele very, very late in life. I've only played it about 6 years. But the whole time I played the piano, my mother always had a little soprano ukulele on top of the piano, just
No.
they were kind of winking at me. And so I learned like three or four chords and just kind of kept them in my brain. And all this career, I was on the road. I moved to LA. My mother calls me her gypsy. I was here, there, and everywhere, doing a lot of jazz and rock and roll and writing my own songs. Moved to Nashville with a country band, of course.
Of course.
Uh,
Sure.
but that ukulele just was kind of in the back of my mind. And
Winking at you, right?
yeah, it
It kept
was.
winking at you.
Weekend meet, and I finally went to the Nashville Ukulele Society meeting, and there was this tall guy playing bass in the back of the room and cracking
Oh,
jokes, and it was this guy.
yeah.
I heard this voice, Ben. I heard this voice, and she was sitting up on the front row, and I went, I don't know who this person. And I just walked up to her and I said, "Who are you?" And she looked at me and goes, "You're the guy playing bass." And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Who are you?"
Who are
We never
you?
told each other the name. We just go, "Who are you? Let's do something
Let's
together."
do something together.
That's cool. That's cool. So you two got together, you've been writing, recording, and teaching.
Yeah,
And that's one of the things that's so important for the festivals I put on in general, and Uktoberfest in particular, is the educational aspect. And I guess I'd like to ask you both, what do you love about teaching?
I truly I've taught so many things from classrooms to individuals and still doing it. The thing that really always gets me about teaching, and everybody says this, you think you're teaching them, but they're really teaching you. It's a way to give back. It's a way to share what you know, your experience, your knowledge. But I tell you, I've never had any children, but my students are my children.
Yeah.
And that's what's rewarding to me about teaching. It's just fabulous.
you know, I
Well, yeah,
Ben, I
go
didn't
ahead.
really I I I didn't really cotton to teaching for a while, and I was playing and I was going, I'm expanding, I'm getting all these things doing. I was so busy with trying to make myself better and better, better. I said, this is, but I had a big, broad base of experience as a producer, and doing that sort of thing. And I went, and I read this book by Victor Wooten, and he says that it's incumbent upon us as we go forward to impart what we learn and disseminate that knowledge back out. And I started doing it and teaching it. And suddenly I realized this is great, because I'm getting feedback from people who are learning. I'm getting, but it's just a joy to see the light go on, and then it comes back on to me. And I had a woman walk up to me one time, and she goes, "That thing you said about the C chord changed my life." And I went, "Good."
What did I say?
What did I say? Remind me so I can say it again, right?
But it's things like that, and it's just really gratifying. And we have an old saying down south: "It ain't dog food less than the dogs eat it." And so, if it's the greatest marketing slogan ever, and this and what I find is that in the teaching of these things, it enables me to figure out the best dog food.
What works?
Yeah.
What works and what
Yeah.
doesn't?
Right, right, right. Well, I like the point you brought up, Lisa, about when you're teaching, how you learn so much from the students while you're imparting, your knowledge upon them. You'll find, if you're like me, you'll find all of a sudden you explain something a little different way, and it's like, whoa, those light bulbs went off, right? And you go, okay, I got to remember that, or they'll say something like, well, I've found I can use this one finger and then I can play that hard to play chord. And you're going, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I never thought of that kind of thing,
You're trying to be cool and say, "Oh yeah, I knew that."
Yeah, oh, okay, I'm writing that one down right here. But well, that's it's and the other thing you were getting to, Bob, is just because you're a great player doesn't mean you're a great teacher.
Oh no, no.
And that's, yeah, that teaching is a specific skill. And to have people like you that play well, write well, and also teach, that's a great combination of talents that doesn't always come together.
Especially in this community, in the ukulele community. I mean, you've got guitar players, you've got keyboard players, you've got singers, and they're very good, and they can keep on going on. I think the ukulele community is the perfect example of the rising tide, that lifts all boats. And I think this is an extraordinary moment in the ukulele world, where so many of us are getting better and better and better and better, and all of us are helping each other get there. Some of us are further down the pike. Some of us,
Sure.
I picked up my first ukulele when I was a Cub Scout, and that was like over 20 years ago.
Oh, was it?
a little bit over 20 years ago, right?
Some old Cub Scouts.
You're correct. It was over 20 years ago.
Well, it's over 20 years. Anyway, that I think that those of us that have been playing all of these instruments for so long are seeing the opportunity to help those who are embracing this instrument for the first time and trying to figure out, is this creativity? Can I bring out the creativity in me? Can I bring out music in me? Can I do this? Yes, you can. And we all can get better by making this work together. And teaching is the natural vehicle to do that. So it's wonderful. I'm
well, right, because an ukulele doesn't dominate the conversation.
Right.
Maybe like an electric guitar would or something like that. So it does all blend together. And I know one of the classes you're talking about teaching, Bob, is plays well with others.
Yeah.
And how to listen, how to come up with parts that support each other, take the lead when you need to, support the other person doing some lead work when you need to. I'm excited. The classes we've talked about, and we're going to get descriptions and everything up on the schedule. Bob's going to do a class called Owning the Song.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the plays well with others, and a bass class too. which would be great. We've had so many people pick up bass over COVID, and that's every youth group needs a bass player, right, to drive the bus, as my friend Steve Saligi says.
The name of this workshop is Bass Players Rule.
Oh,
because two things: bass players control the groove. All right, they'll set the groove for the whole song, whether you want them to or not. and second, bass players can always find work because
absolutely.
Everybody's looking for a bass player, at least one.
They don't need to be the one that owns the van and the PA.
Yeah. It's like, I tell people, I said, just learn a song, go to an open mic, play the song, and then wait. Just stand there, and somebody will come up to you and go, can you play with me too? And you go, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that'll be great. And Lisa, you're going to do an ukulele jazz class.
Yes.
Which focuses on.
I really focus more on the framework of what makes a song jazzy, kind of its structure, its chord structure, its rhythms, chord extensions. So I'm not really teaching like an improv class here, but I'm teaching kind of what makes a song jazzy. What's jazzy to your ears?
Sure.
And how those chord shapes are really movable and easier than you might think.
Oh, yeah. The blues class, I think, is a nice complement to the jazz class, because there's a lot of cross-pollination there. You'll be teaching the blues riffs and rhythms, and also your vocal. I've heard a lot about your vocal techniques class.
Yeah.
The vocal techniques is really, really fun. We actually do some old-fashioned vocal exercises, like maybe if you were in a choir, you might have done a few. And we talk a little bit about breathing, a little bit about the mechanics, but then we also talk about what is really, really making your voice sound the best. If you're going to do an open mic, what's the best key for the song that you're going to be singing? What's too low for you? What's too high? Find the range that is that sweet spot in your voice.
Right.
But as a producer, when I get to record Lisa and hear what she does, also on stage live too, but in here you can take it apart and really see. This woman is an extraordinary vocalist.
That's just because you clean me up in the studio.
a little, but no, she has some solid techniques, some solid things to take away from this class that are just that will make whoever's in this class a better singer. Period.
Great.
Will work.
Awesome. Well, boy, I tell you, the more I talk to you guys, the more I'm excited you're going to be coming to Uketoberfest. Again, that's October 26th at Interlochen Center for the Arts. And before we go, you got any last things you want to say here?
It's a dream to come up to the UP and to actually be teaching Interlochen. I mean,
oh, wait, we're not going to be in the UP.
Oh, we're not?
No, we're up in the
be up there.
We're up here.
Oh,
so up near the north of the Lower Peninsula. You got to go way up here to get to the UP. That'll be a whole nother trip. That'll be some other trip.
You have to edit me out.
It's north of Kentucky. For us, it's the UP.
Yeah, well, that's true. But well, I'm real happy you guys are coming, and we will see you soon. And everybody, I'll get the schedule and the workshop descriptions up pretty quick here. And tell your friends, tell them they've all got to come see the Webb-Tigert duo. Right?
We have been looking forward to this since the very moment we thought we might have a chance to be up there, because
all right.
Really great. Thank you very much.
Cool. I've been looking forward to it too. We'll see you soon, guys.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.